Welcome everyone to this episode of the AskJasonGelios Show. I'm Jason Gelios, Michigan Realtor. I appreciate you tuning in to this episode. This is a jam-packed episode where I'll be sharing with you tips on how to prepare for movers. I got a lot of information here. Many people ask me this as well about how do I prepare for movers, right? You got your house sold or you're moving from an apartment, townhome, whatever it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into these tips. So the first part of this is what to do before the moving crew arrives. And there are things that you need to do. And this may seem like a lot. However, I assure you that if you just kind of put together a checklist, even as you're watching this, jot down each key point, bullet point, whatever, then you can ultimately just tackle it one tip at a time, okay? So the first thing is donate and sell items. Get rid of items. Do not keep stuff in your home that you have decided you're going to get rid of and that it's not going to the new place. Get rid of it. Put it to the curb. Call the donation service. Have them pick it up. Whatever you gotta do, just get rid of it. Next one is alert your neighbors. So this is a courtesy thing to do, right? And that's just let your immediate neighbors, especially if you're in an apartment complex, just let them know, hey, listen, I'm moving out on this date, and therefore, there's gonna be a moving truck outside, and it's gonna be a lot of hustle and bustle. I really apologize. I'll do my best to have them not block in your cars, block your mailbox, whatever the thing is, okay? Just alert your neighbors and be kind in that manner, okay? Now, next one is find out if you'll need a moving permit. I think this applies more towards if you're in a big city type deal or a city environment or even a small town and you're trying to move out of a tight area. You may need a moving permit to have the truck show up because of parking issues and things like that. So probably doesn't apply if you're in a suburb. However, it is good to find that out. Next one is hire a sitter. So pets, kids, things like that, small children, I should say. Have someone kind of keep an eye on a family member, right? Keep an eye on pets and small children. That way you can focus on what you have to do, and that's moving and speaking with the movers about where things go or whatnot. Have a sitter in place, have a family member that helps out with kids and pets, okay? And then another one here is get to packing. So if you haven't paid for the movers to pack your things, which they usually offer that at an additional cost. I've seen it where it's priced per box, okay? But if you're not gonna have them do that, then start packing, okay? There's no strong rule about how soon you should pack before the movers come. Just kind of do a little bit at a time and pack things up. Things that you're not going to use often. If you're moving from one house to the next, you can start in the basement and pack those items that probably are collecting dust anyway, okay? So make sure you have everything set and you label every box, okay? So wherever it's going to the new place, right? If it's going in the living room, mark it on at least a couple different sides in case they're looking, because everything's gonna be stacked in a truck. Label living room, master bedroom, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, whatever, okay, basement, okay? Sometimes moving companies have a moving coordinator and you can actually communicate with them about the whole experience. I don't think there's a lot of them. I know some movers that help seniors out, and that's a little bit different because they actually coordinate with the aging adult, the senior moving. They coordinate them through every single step. But typically, that would cost extra from a regular moving company, okay? So just connect with the moving coordinator if there is one, and I'll ask them for tips and advice and things like that. I want to touch on this one. So handle high valuables on your own. This sounds terrible, but don't trust movers to handle your jewelry, your special coins that you have locked up, anything else that is of high value, or even if it's high sentimental value, right? Family heirlooms and things like that. Put them separate and put them in your car on moving day, okay? Now, here's another one. Disconnect all your appliances. Now, many times, especially if it's a gas hookup, moving companies will not disconnect appliances if you're taking appliances from your current space. You want to make sure that that is disconnected before they show up. And that you might want to do that the night before, depending on your routine. But disconnect everything to make sure that it's all set so that the movers just come in, grab it, and get it out of there. Okay. Another thing is when you're thinking about preparing your home for a move, don't leave hallways cluttered. Don't put boxes in hallways. Keep everything where the movers can move around and easily navigate through your home and empty things out, right? Put it into the truck. If you're moving in the winter, and I actually learned this the hard way, you want to make sure that your pathway is taken care of so that movers don't slip. I had actually grabbed a box out of a home that my family and I were moving out of, and I came out and I walked on the lawn away from the movers, and I had everything else salted and prepared, but not the sidewalk, and I slipped, and that did not feel good. I was carrying some things that, thank God, they didn't break, but they could have. So here's a great idea too, is pack a first night box. So what can you access right away? Coffee, right? When you're in your new space, you got all these boxes, okay? What box? It's probably going to be a kitchen box and maybe a bedroom box with like your pajamas and things like that. But pack a first night box, a box that you need to access stuff to actually live the first night. Like I mentioned, the coffee, I'd want that going the following day. Many movers, and I've been asked this too about what do I do with hazardous materials and things like that, okay? Many times movers won't move that because to put that on a truck, especially professionally, I believe, you have to have a separate permit and the truck has to be marked and all that. So things like, gasoline, things like that, you might have to put that in your own car, but just, try to basically get rid of hazardous materials the responsible way versus trying to move them, And the last one here, and there's a lot of information, but again, these are valuable tips that I put together for you, okay? So these are just things that you absolutely should be doing, each and every one, to prepare for movers, okay, before moving day. Stop by the ATM, take out some cash, because if you felt that the movers did a great job, tip them out, hey, thanks a lot, you went above and beyond, okay? Hook them up, okay? Don't go overboard, but just hook them up. So I have a few things that you need to do on moving day. And this is one, be ready to host, okay? And I'm talking about a moving crew, not guests. If that moving crew involves your family and friends helping you out, okay, they're still your moving crew, okay? Have a couple things ready. Have a clean bathroom for them to use, especially if they're moving a lot of stuff and it's taking them hours and they're at your house for hours. Have a clean bathroom ready, have some water, have some snacks, set aside a station, fold out table, little station, grab some donuts, whatever, get some pizzas, like help out these people, especially if it's family members, but especially your moving crew, hook them up. So, because it's not an easy job, right? Now, a second one is communicate clearly. So on moving day, communicate clearly. You have to be there. You should not be at the new place yet. You don't go to the new place until the movers leave your existing space, okay? But be present, chat with them regularly. Open communication. There will be things that the moving crew asks you. There will be things. I guarantee it. Okay, I've done it several times. And then do a final walkthrough. Walk through your space. The movers are all done, everything's good. Go through your old home. Maybe even one of the guys with the moving crew and just kind of, guys or girls, with the moving crew and just kind of look around like, did I miss anything? Did I miss chargers? Did I miss anything? Did something get spilled? I should probably clean it up. Whatever the case is, okay? So just some final thoughts, okay? Moving should not be 100% stressful. There's always a little bit of stress. Don't get me wrong. You're moving your whole entire life from one space to another. It's going to be stressful. But when you have a moving company, it's so much easier and it's worth every single dime you spend. I kid you not. They do a great job. And the best thing about moving is it forces you to purge, to get rid of stuff that you don't need, items that you don't need to keep anymore. Get rid of it, okay? If you're moving from an apartment to another space, take photos of the apartment so that you have record of your own as far as, the condition of the apartment. Usually the apartment manager will come through and check you out, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do it after the fact because they got a bunch of them to do that day, right? Or week. So just make sure that, you take some photos, especially if it's an apartment. And that's really all I have for this, is just preparing for a move. Follow these tips to have a successful move. Even if you're not hiring movers, if you're just having family and friends, for one, hook them up, okay? But even if you're having family and friends, just follow these things, okay? And if I went too fast for you, you can go ahead, feel free to rewind and hit those spots, okay? And make a list of these things too. So I really appreciate you watching. I invite you to follow me on social media. I jotted those links down in the description, and be sure to visit my websites. That's it'sallabouttherealestate.com and servingmichiganseniors.com. I appreciate you watching, and have a great week.